right, so we're walking up to kind of our studio circle. These were all like either weed eater sheds. We stored our hay in it.
Parked the tractors.
And now they've all been transformed into studios. This is kind of the studio circle. And it's all of our, just the deep, rich, beautiful creative process. They're all working on their final projects, which are really the crescendo of their discipleship process.
Yeah. In 4 weeks, they'll be presenting their final projects. Mm-hmm. And more than just projects, they are their testimonies. And embedded into the heart of the school is we want to teach sons and daughters how to be overcomers. Yeah. Revelation says we overcome by the word of our testimony, by the blood of the Lamb, and by loving not our life unto death. And so within each of their final projects is a testimony. You saw it in dance. They're declaring, this is who God is for me, and this is who I am. I've made an exchange with lies, and I'm picking up the truth of who I am as a son and a daughter. Yeah. And it really is like the crescendo of the school.
It is. So we're going to walk into the music studio now. The music studio used to hold all of our cardboard. It used to be just like basically a storage room. And I mean, maybe 10 years ago? 2005?
Well, no, we built this 2005. That was not 10 years ago. 16 years ago. We built this to
I'm totally
but we built this to record The Awakening. We recorded The Awakening, a live album.
Jonathan's first album.
Our first album, The Awakening, and we've recorded Joy of the Chase, the Generosity album, Molly's album, Joel's album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello. What's happening in here?
We are having group singing.
Group singing. Tell us more, Phyllis.
Well, these are our amazing Phase 1 students and some of our staff, and we are working on singing together as a choir.
Mm. And why is that important to the discipleship journey of the 18-inch journey?
That's a great question. I'd like to hear from some of you. First, I'd love to say that in this class, we're fighting for everyone to learn the power of their own voices, but also not just individually.
Okay.
That there is something powerful about joining our voices together and creating a sound that we could never make on our own.
Wow. Okay.
So what's the worth of my individual voice that I bring to the table?
Okay.
And then how does it become, and it serves something greater when we sing together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing you say, it's not enough for them to just write songs individually.
Right.
Like part of the wholeness journey is learning to listen. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Learning to listen to each other, learning to submit our voices to one another, learning to blend with each other.
Okay.
Would y'all agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. How hard is it?
Pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Why is it hard, Heather?
It's vulnerable to be in a group of people where you're owning your sound and then blending all together.
Right.
So I think all of us, we did an exercise called Opening the Wells, and we were owning our sound. And then now we're working on one of the songs that we're going to be doing at the end. And so in that, we're like blending together, this is who I am, and just kind of like the flow together. So
Is that harder than singing, like just writing your own song?
Absolutely.
Whoa. I'm so it would seem that it would be more vulnerable to be by yourself.
Yes.
Wow. Why do you think it's not?
I think it's not because in order to create something together, you have to lay down part of yourself and then also like be with others in a way that's like, okay, this is my sound, this is your sound, and how do we like work together? And it's like the ownership of you and then the ownership of us collectively. That's really, it's vulnerable to say, okay, this is me, this is you, and we're seeing each other fully.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is God teaching you in that?
Humility.
Totally.
Yeah.
So opening the wells is, because we used to do this with all the students. Can you imagine? where we would get in a circle and one by one, they would get out in the middle and sing and like own their voice in front of the whole school, which was powerful.
And it was a furnace.
We've been talking about
we talk about the kiln.
The fire.
John
how hard this school
Yeah,
is.
and Johnny actually sat down and tried to center some clay. It was
Come on.
it was epic, and he did a mirroring thing with Angel. That was pretty, like, maybe a little bit more heart racing.
Oh yeah.
We're not gonna have you sing because we all know you can sing. But I love the opening the wells. Most definitely, we've honed it into the music collective. Molly, Joel, whoever's playing, we're just playing music the whole time, and you get in, you take a deep breath, and you have to sing something spontaneously in the moment. Like, what is God singing through you? What are you trying to sing to God? By yourself in the circle.
Yes.
Yeah.
This year we actually gave them a prompt of what is the sword that you're pointing at your enemy? And how is your voice a sword? And how do you want to use your voice to point the sword at your enemy? And who is God for you in this season? And it was very powerful. It was amazing.
Wow.
We could do an opening your wells right now, and you could do it.
Babe.
You do that.
I do that every
time you get on the stage. You do that.
Well, it's very open. Okay. Amazing. So then what else? Like, we've been talking a lot about the final project. What is the final project for this school?
This is part of the final project right here.
Okay.
There's a group song, and then there's also an individual song that they're writing. Started it today, called The Altar of Remembrance. So it's all about who has God been for me in this season, and what does that mean for my life? How does that change my story? And just building an altar of thanksgiving and just saying, this is what my journey's been about.
Wow.
So they literally just started. They've worked an hour and a half on these songs. We've already heard some parts that are.
Wow.
The well is open now,
Yeah.
so there's so much beauty coming out, and there's so much work in the heart that's been done. So we're just tapping into that
Good.
process, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. It really becomes like the song testimony of
100%
Of your
the
journey.
very
Yeah.
testimony.
Amazing. So are all of you trained singers and musicians? No. Is this what you do for a profession? No. Are you sure? Okay. We're trying to educate the people that this school isn't for professional creatives, professional musicians and artists, that we actually come here to learn. Yeah. Matt, what's it been like to humble yourself and learn something that maybe isn't your go-to?
Honestly, it's been amazing. It's been really challenging, but in that vulnerability of saying I don't actually know what I'm doing.
Right.
There are people here that are trained in that and just are passionate, and it's a gift to learn.
Come on.
So.
Come on.
So I'm hearing you say that the teacher's really important.
Yeah.
And actually asking for help.
Yep.
What about you, Hosea?
I think the biggest thing for me is actually being humble enough to welcome the feedback of my teachers. Definitely in the place where even if you have some experience with music, they are better than we are. They're trained professional musicians.
Yeah.
And so to come here with some grasp and think that you have something to give, and then them being like, nope, we're going to readjust this just a little bit.
Yeah, good.
It really presses you in a place where you think that you've done it, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to actually let this feedback affect me. I'm going to change some things.
Wow, come on.
Do you think that's going to affect other parts of your life?
Definitely.
just a little bit. Not just the music part of your life, but maybe work and relationships. Yeah. We've been talking a ton about just the value of collectives. They're here to do discipleship in real time, right? So it's just not enough to take the notes and say amen and do the worship. You have to get vulnerable and humble yourself and lay down your pride and work it out. Yeah. And it's really hard. In the beginning, we all told you the collectives would be really hard. Do you feel like you're in a different level of understanding?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Paul's like, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Because of the humility piece. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parts of me feel like that person that was digging in his heels is so far
Come on.
in the past. I do feel a freedom
Wow.
to just kind of let go, but
Wow.
but it was work
Yeah.
to like just say like out loud, hey, like I have no idea what I'm doing,
Right.
and to like just be met with so much permission
Yeah.
to be myself and
Wow.
to be led through that.
Wow.
It was
Wow.
it was powerful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like almost 30.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Very close.
that's like you've lived your whole 20s. Like I mean that's a lot of like strength
Yeah.
to let go of. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. It's been a journey, but just coming in and feeling the atmosphere of welcoming and like no performance
Yes.
necessary.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
just be you.
Yeah.
It'll take it from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say that performance is one of the biggest things that we keep telling you guys to let go of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot, and it's been work to let
Yeah,
that go
totally.
Mm.
internally. Like
Right.
stop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, mostly, I mean, that's just because our culture is, it's the language, right? It's the try harder, do harder, like show up, everyone will applaud you, and then you know you're a son or daughter of God, right? So I think stripping off performance is one of the biggest feats that we go after, especially the 20 to 30-year-old.
Yes.
You've experienced that, haven't you, Liv?
No, I have, girl. You know it. Scribbling off of me.
You're like, is there anything left?
We're not really sure at this point.
Oh, and it's so good because the real you is actually worth loving. I think that's more than anything what we're fighting for is like, it is the real you, and all of this striving is unnecessary before the Lord. You know, so yeah, it's good. It's good. So good. It's so good. All right, thanks, guys. You're welcome. Maybe wait, we should have him sing for us.
Sing a little bit.
Sing a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's do verse 3.
Be the Lord of my emotions. Set me free from selfish motives. Search me till there's nothing hidden. I'll give you everything. I'll give you everything. Oh, you can have my heart. You can have my heart. You can have my heart. You can have my heart.
I like this song. Well done. Very, very exciting. Very, very exciting. Deep. It's very deep. It's very deep. It's very beautiful. It is amazing. We don't normally walk through the collective, so even for us as leaders, it's really good to circle back to like, man, God is moving, and it looks really different than the normal God is moving, and I really like that. So.